This is The Hub on Hollywood, an iHeartRadio podcast. I'm your co-host, James Rojas.
And I'm Jamie Blanco.
On this week's episode, we are looking back at the Goofy movie, A Goofy movie, which is celebrating, its 30th anniversary, and boy, do I feel old. A new documentary is out, and it's pretty good. A spoiler, I'm assuming a full spoiler review of a Minecraft movie, right? Because
yes, we can do that.
I think everybody who's wanted to see the movie has seen the movie. It's already made $1 billion.
Yeah.
If not, it'll be making that soon. So we will get into that. The Jersey Shore coming to the shore of Boston. Mm-hmm. Okay, a local actor coming back to her Boston roots, and a movie starring the bad boys of Boston coming back to the theaters over 25 years after its original release. All of that and more. But first, Jamie, I have to congratulate you for something.
I have to congratulate you.
Oh, wow.
Shall we congratulate each other?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations on 400 subscribers.
Woo! 400!
Over 400 subscribers.
Yes.
Incredible. It took us like years to break the 300 subscriber mark, and then less than 4 months to break 400. And at last check at 4:20 on a Friday, we've reached 414 subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned in, who continues to tune in, and just help us, get the love of movies out of our system.
Get the passion, right, for movies, for TV, and for the entertainment that is made here in Boston, right?
Yeah.
For our local Massachusetts, New England filmmakers, the great things that come from here. It's wicked. It's wicked awesome.
It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
Speaking of wicked awesome, I do have a surprise for you.
Oh,
so,
God.
Hold on to that. So, and I'm sure you can still hear me.
Surprise?
We have a surprise here. So my wife, my amazing wife, knows how much work we've been putting into the podcast.
Oh my God, like legit.
And so she, this is also a birthday gift, but also a gift for both of us. We got Hub on Hollywood hats. Let me walk in closer for those watching on YouTube. Hub on Hollywood hat. Look at that.
Thank you, Allie.
That is stitched. That's stitching right there.
You've just got the best wife.
I do.
She's amazing.
I do. And so congratulations for us, and thank you, my wife, for this amazing gift. I also got, I think you saw the shirts. I wore the shirt with the Hub on Hollywood patch, and I forgot to bring you the hat then. I have had it for this long.
Okay.
But it's good that we have our 400 subscribers milestone to give you this, and this gave me an idea.
What's your idea?
So we've reached 400. Mm-hmm. If we're able to reach 500 subscribers by the end of this year, I think we should maybe give somebody, one of our listeners, one of our viewers, maybe not these hats because these are ours, but another hat and T-shirt with the Hub on Hollywood logo. We'll hit 500. Whoever comments and likes, subscribes, and whatever criteria we set then, we'll send you guys a shirt or a hat.
Yeah, so keep watching the Hub on Hollywood. We'll let you know how you can win some Hub on Hollywood merch, which is amazing. You say 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I think we're going to hit that by the end of the spring.
I pray.
Yeah.
I pray. That'll be awesome. So, thank you so much for those of you subscribing, listening, watching, and telling your other movie fanatic friends and family about the podcast. We are at Hub on Hollywood on all those social medias as well: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. What else? I'm on Blue Sky. You're not on Blue Sky.
Not yet.
You're gonna get on Blue Sky.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Whatever the new ones are. Wherever you are, we are lurking in the background over your shoulder, waiting for you to subscribe.
And speaking of lurking behind your shoulder, over your shoulder, let's talk about movie theaters, where everybody is almost lurking over somebody else's shoulder, unless you are in the very back row. This is some good talk coming out of CinemaCon in Las Vegas recently. The president and CEO of the Cinema United organization, Michael O'Leary, he came out and, talked to folks talking about the movie theater going experience. We all know that it's in, quite a bit of trouble. It hasn't rebounded to pre-pandemic levels or even beyond pre-pandemic levels. But he has an idea. He is suggesting that studios keep their movies inside the movie theaters for longer than 17 days it's a crazy idea to like have to tell studios, because that used to be the norm where movies would run anywhere from 30 to 45 days or even longer if they're a big hit. But now they're just asking the bare minimum of like, hey, like before you rush these films out onto your streaming services, how about letting them run in the movie theater?
Yeah.
When you hear this, do you hope or think studios will abide by this suggestion?
I don't expect that they will. The landscape has changed so much.
Yeah.
With streaming and whatnot, it was hard enough to during the pandemic, right? Movies were just going straight to streaming. Everything was going straight to streaming, and now we have to pull back from that. And so the dynamic hasn't even gotten back to regular, right? So I don't know if having the movies in theaters longer is really going to help the bottom line so much, because the problem is getting people in the theaters, getting people to physically go. So I can see how maybe having it there a little bit longer, right, and making a little bit more money. I can see that, but you got to get the people there.
Well, there are some movies where I think this would definitely work. And for example, in the case of the Knives Out movies, for Netflix, obviously those are Netflix films, but I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they came out for maybe like a week before they were released on streaming. And during those times, you would see movie theaters packed with people wanting to go see the film. And so there are films that I think that deserve their fair run at the theater. O'Leary argues, he says the longer stays in theaters could help movies be even more successful when they are eventually made available for home viewing. I think that word of mouth will help. And, people who are, just saying, I'll just wait 2 weeks to watch a movie at home. It'll incentivize people to be like, the buzz is good. Let me go out there and, enjoy this in front of everybody else, this movie experience.
I think I agree, there are a lot of movies that could have benefited from that. One in particular was Spirited. Yeah. Was that musical Christmas movie with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell that was filmed here in Boston. And when it came out, it had a limited theatrical release. It was mostly on streaming. But I think it would have done so well in the movie theater. Especially during Christmas time. And it was such a good movie. It deserved more. So I think in that sense, absolutely. There are lots of movies that are being made for streaming that are very high quality that I think would do very well in the theater. But I'm not a businessman. I don't know how much it costs, to have the theatrical release over streaming and yada, yada, yada. But I want movies like Spirited that are not only just made in New England, but, that are of that quality and that caliber. I want to see them on the big screen.
Yeah, me too. And I hope that, this is at least perked somebody's ear to consider having them, stay longer in the movie theater. But speaking about watching things on the big screen, there's nothing better than watching amazing stunts on the big screen, whether it's Jackie Chan fighting 20,000 people and jumping through a mall, or Tom Cruise clinging onto a literal military plane at 200, 300 miles per hour, or however fast it was. But finally, after years of people talking about this, the Oscars, they're finally going to be giving the recognition that stunt men and women finally deserve.
Right. After over 100 years of filmmaking.
It only took them 100 years or so.
And it took Ryan Gosling, a Ryan Gosling movie about stuntmen. And the commentary in that was, hey, look at what these people do and everything that they go through. And nobody is acknowledged for that. And that sort of became a talking point last year.
The stunts are half the reason why many people go to the movie theater.
Exactly.
So why not, give them...
And then who gets the credit?
Yeah.
Like, the pretty-faced, pretty boy front man.
The person who doesn't do their own stunts.
Right.
I'm not talking about you, Tom Cruise. I'm not talking about you, Jackie Chan. You guys do your own stunts. So we're talking about everybody else that rides their coattails. But the push came from the director, David Leitch, who, as you mentioned, who directed The Fall Guy. The last time the Academy added a category was in 2024 when it established the Achievement in Casting Award, which will be given now for the first time at the next year's Oscars. I think this is just about time. And I think, if anything, this one should have been implemented before the Achievement in Casting Award.
Oh, the casting one also?
Oh, but maybe, again, stunt. I would have expected the stunt one to be done sooner, years before this one. Yeah. But either way, great job for recognizing the people who literally put their blood, sweat, and tears into making movies. So
they should call it the Charlie Chaplin Award.
Yeah, either Charlie or Buster Keaton, maybe. Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, also Tom Cruise. Like, if they can make the Oscar trophy look like one of those guys, or gals, like Michelle Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh did a lot of her stunts. She's a very well known for doing a lot of her own dangerous and precarious stunts. So that would also be a good nomination for a statue. I'm not sure if this is going to be getting any awards soon, but you sent me this, and I have done zero research because I want you to describe it to me. But Jersey Shore is coming to Boston. That sounds like an oxymoron.
Yeah, something. So the Jersey Shore existed,
puts the moron in oxymoron.
Right, and, there you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right. Sorry.
This is the quality. This is the quality. This is why
this is why we have 400 subscribers.
Woo! This class of comedy and our amazing movie ideas, of which we have many.
Absolutely.
I would not have pitched this. However, I would not have pitched Jersey Shore in Boston. However, they have just wrapped filming, or they are wrapping filming.
So again, I don't understand the concept of this.
Look, you know how the Jersey Shore was a thing in the 2000s, and over the years, there have been other shows revisiting the cast and the schnookies and the whatevers over the course of their lives in different scenarios and different things, and it's just a continuation of that.
So it's the Jersey Shore original cast in Boston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I was thinking. Like, are they doing like a brand new people?
Well, that's my understanding. Again, I could be wrong. I just know that is what it is called. That's what's been filming here, and it is wrapping up shortly.
So you've done no research on this either.
Well, it's tight-lipped stuff, you know.
Oh, okay. It's tight-lipped. Okay, I'll take that. I'll accept that.
Wink, wink.
Okay, so that is going to begin filming?
No, that's wrapping.
That's wrapped.
That's wrapping.
Wrapping.
So we're at the end of that. I think this is the last weekend that they are filming on that. And another show that people may or may not enjoy, on the vein of reality television, Love is Blind.
I hear a lot of good things about this show, actually. I don't know about you. I don't know if you've seen anything or what you've heard, but what I keep hearing is that it's really good and like heartwarming.
Okay. I mean, I haven't actually gotten into it, but I have seen an episode here and an episode there, and it's about human connection without, the physical part. It's like connecting as human beings and your soul and, all that other stuff.
Am I thinking of two different dating shows then? Is Love is Blind the one where they're stuck in cubicles and they're just speaking to each other?
Yeah.
Oh,
Were you thinking about like actual blind people?
I was
Wait, now I need to look this up.
I was thinking about Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah, that's totally different.
That's totally different.
Completely.
When you were saying like this is about not the physical thing of it. Like I'm pretty sure I saw clips of them paying out like in public. But
no.
Okay.
Love is Blind.
So the reason why I'm thinking about Love on the Spectrum is because there's a girl or a woman on this season's show who is from Boston, and she's a big lover of the MBTA, the local train service here, and so that's what I was getting confused by. Like, okay, Love is Blind is happening in Boston, so that connection. Okay, I'm on board now.
Love on the Spectrum, also what they call my love life. Anyways. All right.
Hopefully that wasn't offensive.
We can cut that out.
No, that's it. I'm kidding.
So what else are we talking about? Anyways, that's also wrapped. It was filming all around the city, and it was very hush-hush, but plenty of people caught, like, the crews and the people from like the film crews and the people from the show in and around town. So that'll be an interesting one to watch as well when it eventually comes out. Speaking of eventually coming out.
Yeah, that's a good transition for our next topic, Dogma. The Kevin Smith.
There you go.
The Kevin Smith cult classic Dogma that came out 25 years ago. All these movies, 30 plus years, 25 years, what the heck's going on? Where is time going? But Dogma is going back to the movie theaters. Of course, it stars our Boston boys, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon. This is one of those movies where people love so much, but it's so hard or has been so hard to watch. And, let alone buy a physical copy, but to stream anywhere or what have you, because there are a bunch of legal rights and a lot of things going on with the studio that far more in depth than I'm aware of.
One of the other crimes of
Harvey Weinstein. Yeah.
Is keeping Dogma from us. But like you mentioned, lots of conflict around the release of this. And we were talking before we started recording about the DVDs.
Yeah.
Being part of that. And if you didn't get a DVD before a certain point, then you had no access to this film. And actually the DVDs sell online or have been selling online for like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
I have one.
That's amazing.
I bought it when it was available. I've had it for a very, very long time.
And our 500th subscriber will get it.
You cannot have it. It's mine.
No, but one thing that was cool to publicize this was Kevin Smith, he released a redone trailer of Dogma. So like a revamped, like modern day trailer of the movie. And it looks really good. Again, you have Alan Rickman, you have Matt Damon, Ben Affleck, you have Alanis Morissette, who plays God.
Who plays God, yeah.
Chris Rock. You have so many, of course, you have, the Jay and Silent Bob characters in there. Really fun movie that I have, through the years been wanting to see again, but you just can't. You just physically could not be able to. But Kevin Smith somehow worked his magic and has been able to get it back in theaters for a limited release, and I'm sure DVD releases and
I wouldn't
streaming.
mind seeing a sequel to it either.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty perfect movie.
Yeah, it's pretty perfect. Plus, I think the angels are killed. I don't know how the world
that world operates.
Movie works. But yeah, George Carlin passed away, but he's also great in that film. That is coming out in the theaters for limited release on June 5th.
I will definitely be there. And it's surprisingly philosophical and spiritual and like...
Catholics hate it.
Catholics hate it. Buddy Christ. Oh my God. But it's amazing. My favorite part, I just wanted to say before we moved on, at the very end when the metronome, goes up to the girl and it's like, so do you believe now? She's like, no, but I've got a good idea. And, and that's just a really wonderful philosophy, I think, that came out of it. Maybe they're suppressing it because it's too thoughtful.
It's too woke,
too thought-provoking. It's too... Anyways, I'm definitely going to be there.
Yeah.
For that.
Excellent. Well, speaking about being there, who showed up there at her own stomping grounds was none other than Dorchester native Ayo Edeburi. She was in most recently, of course, the hit the hit show The Bear, the comedy, that comedic laugh out loud show, The Bear, which is really not a comedy, but that's another discussion. But Ayo Edeburi, she was also in what's the one where she's in her brain, all the emotions? Inside Out. She was Inside Out too. She was not Anxiety. She was the new blue one, the one that was kind of like shy or jealous. I forget what emotion that was, but she was one of the new emotions.
Embarrassment?
Was it Embarrassment? No, Embarrassment was the big one. There was the big kind of like loaf one.
Yes, Embarrassment, Anxiety, Envy, and...
I think it may have been... Was it Envy?
Envy, I think, is the little blue one.
Okay, well, it's the new one, not from the first one, right?
No, Envy is from before. Envy's green. Envy's
Edeburi
green.
in Pitch Perfect 2. Pitch Perfect? Where am I? in Inside Out 2? No.
And now I will break out into song.
Who was Ayo Edeburi in Inside Out 2?
According to Cineworld, Ayo Edeburi, she voices Envy.
Envy. Okay, Envy. So she was in that movie. Anyway, she's in a lot of stuff. She's a great, really fun actress, great actress, and award-winning actress as well. She was back in Boston. She was over at her old school where she graduated 12 years ago, Boston Latin School, hanging out with none other than the mayor, Michelle Wu, where the mayor actually sat down with her and was interviewing her on stage in front of the other students about her time in Boston, her time at the school, and what helped her get to where she is today. And she talked about, her main message to the students was just be yourself. I was myself, and look where that got me. And so I think it's great when you have people like, the Matt Damons, the Ben Afflecks, the Ayo Edeburis of Boston coming back and inspiring people and not forgetting their roots.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. And it's great, always great to see our local actors, our local filmmakers making a big name for themselves and going out there. We've got some great interviews, past and future, coming up. So if you haven't seen, we had Shah Jahan Khan.
Yeah, Shah Jahan Khan.
Not too long ago, who is in Delhi Boys.
Yeah.
We have a few other actors lined up for the weeks ahead, and we should try to get Ayo.
So I did not cover the story I was assigned to a different story when she was in Boston at the school. But if I had been there, I would have dropped our business card and try to get her on the podcast. Maybe next time. So we'll reach out to her people and we'll see what we can do. All right. So I think we have to talk about what everybody is talking about, whether they know this world, like yourself or your kids, I'm assuming, and those like myself who don't know a thing about it, but are just getting inundated by references and memes online. A Minecraft movie starring Jack Black, Jason Momoa, Emma Myers, and some other folks. But it is doing fantastic at the box office. I'm not a Minecraft person. I know what it is. I know it's a video game. It's blocks. You build stuff. It's been going on for like 10 plus years, but I'm not in that world. Are you in that world?
I am in that world.
Okay.
I'm in that world through my son, who is 9 years old. So he's the exact demographic
age range.
And the things that he can make on this game are just incredible. Like, I remember trying to teach him one day, and I got so frustrated. I threw it down. I'm like, for whatever, we're just not gonna be Minecraft people. And then like the next day he had figured out everything. And I'm like, oh my God. And like he can build castles and theme parks and cities. And it's incredible the limitless possibilities that you can create in this game. And, there's an entire generation of kids who have come up on Minecraft. And it's the perfect thing to be making into a film and to be adapting right now, and it shows. The opening weekend surpassed Barbie.
Yeah, and Super Mario Brothers movie.
So I mean, it's raking in the cash, hand over fist. This thing is going to be making a lot of money over the life of.
Next 17 days.
Over the next 17 days. But James, this movie is so dumb.
Oh no, I've heard the plot is really not a plot.
No,
it's just
not.
a thing. It's just a movie for references and memes and quotes. Right?
It is absolute mayhem and ridiculousness. There's barely a plot. And my son has never had so much fun in the theater. Like, this kid was rolling on the floor in front of me.
On the sticky floor?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
like,
no.
Don't get off. No, don't do that. And then, like, there were parts of this movie where he was literally shrieking at the top of his lungs. I'm like, God,
Okay. This is one thing we'll talk about, like the audience reaction in a bit too. But like, is that in response to what people are doing online and memeing, or is it like a genuine reaction?
It is a genuine reaction.
Okay, because I know people are going overboard. Not sure if you've seen those videos.
Oh yeah, no, people are losing their minds. But like, this was a genuine reaction to just the utter ridiculousness and unseriousness of this movie. And you know what? It works, James, because if this movie had tried to be serious, it would have been. It would not have worked.
Right.
It would have spiraled and burned. It would have been a dumpster fire
like
if they tried to do, something like that. But James, the plot, quote unquote, here is a mysterious portal pulls four misfits into the overworld, a bizarre cubic wonderland that thrives on imagination. To get back home, they'll have to master the terrain while embarking on a magical quest with an unexpected crafter named Steve.
My name is Steve.
Yes, everybody went crazy at that part. All the other little 9-year-olds in the theater, and a bunch of the teenagers who were up in the top of
I hate teenagers.
Teenagers
are the worst.
Some of them might watch us.
Hey, if you watch us, you know you're the worst.
You know.
But
I think the most uninteresting part of this movie was the plot. I didn't care anything about the plot. My son didn't care anything about the plot. What really worked for this movie were all of the Minecraft references, were the building references and the ways that the world works.
Again, I know nothing about this game or the movie, but like the memes and the clips online, I've absorbed through osmosis, like flint and steel. Is that a thing?
Yes,
right?
Okay. Thing, yeah. Which you need to make the nether portal. To make the portals to get from one. Anyways, but all of those things, like the crafting tables and the redstone and like all of the things that are important to the gaming dynamics, to the what was it called? What was it called? Chicken jockey.
Yeah.
Like that, those are the things that people loved the most and that I wish that they actually had more of. So the directors...
More of that? Of those references?
They needed more of that and less plot. I didn't care about any of the characters in this movie.
You just wanted a slideshow of just
whatsoever.
like things in the video game.
Like, no, I mean, the movies that people create for Minecraft just... on like YouTube that they make, like these epic adventures that are over an hour long. They're like feature-length movies in that Minecraft style. It's incredible. Like, as big as your imagination is, anything is impossible in Minecraft, and I think they could have done more and included more. There was a great homage to Technoblade. Technoblade, who is a big Minecraft player, streamer, YouTuber, unfortunately passed away from cancer, 23 years old, but very famous. And actually, one of the people who helped popularize Minecraft and playing Minecraft on YouTube and everything that in that realm. So there was one homage to him, but I would have liked to have seen more Minecraft YouTubers and more streamers and more people who are part of that world get included in the story. The creators mentioned that this is called a Minecraft story on purpose and not the Minecraft story because they wanted to just tell a silly story and not really get so much into the world. But I want to see the Minecraft movie. I want to see more of this stuff. I want to see these people be actual blocks. So the character design really bothered me. It bothered me in the trailers.
The humans,
it bothered me.
Or just mainly all the other block
like the
animals and stuff.
Minecraft guys that go like the humans in Minecraft, the animals, the characters. I didn't like their fleshy, like over CGI character designs. It all really bothered me. But the saving grace was this movie didn't give a crap. It was completely unserious from the very beginning when you see Jack Black leaping across the screen like a dog catching frisbees in his mouth, and like it was just other mayhem, and he carried it so well. He went way over the top, and it worked because anything less than that was not going to work.
Yeah,
I think.
I heard that there were too many characters. Like all you needed was like maybe Jason Momoa, Steve's character, or Jack Black's character, maybe a third one. But then people were theorizing that the studio felt they should add more characters because they weren't all utilized well. Here's the thing, though. So can you watch one of the fan-made Minecraft movies on YouTube without knowing the world of Minecraft? Like, can you enjoy it for a movie itself?
You absolutely can.
So that's the thing about this movie. One thing I'm hearing is that unless you know all these references or video game, tactics or, I don't know, MacGuffins or what have you, then it's not a good movie because like you just can't walk into it watching it. Where there are a lot of video game adaptations, like Super Mario. Like if you don't play the video games, you can walk into that movie and understand the world and the characters.
Excellent point.
And Mortal Kombat, even though they're not great movies, you kind of understand like okay, you get the world. But here, one thing I'm hearing is that if you're not in that, if knowledgeable about with all these like memes or references, then you're just like okay, this is just a bad movie because the plot isn't good.
Yeah, I think they could have done it better. Honestly, like you said, they could have gone in there and told a story that was more character-centric and takes you through the world that even people who don't understand Minecraft would have been able to get into it and understand it, and you would have been able to put more references into it because you discover it along with the characters and yada, yada, yada. So I definitely think it could have been a better movie. But it doesn't matter what I say.
That being said, kids love it.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what I think. Kids are absolutely eating it up. Another great feature of this film is, again, Jack Black singing, because he has to do that in every single movie.
Yeah.
I brought a prop,
okay,
James. They're just, once again for my kids, the best song in this movie.
Please don't put it right into the microphone. That'll kill many people's ears.
Okay. I don't have to squeeze it, but, you can hear it.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a rubber chicken here. You like chicken.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Oh, no, you're backing up. You're scaring me. You are tethered, by the way.
I just want to give myself some space, that's all. Because in Minecraft, there's this amazing restaurant that you need to visit. Well, at least in this terrain, right, in this world that he created. And it's lava chicken. Steve's lava chicken, yeah, it's tasty as hell. Oh, mamacita, now you're something.
Ringing the bell.
Ringing the bell. Good job. Okay,
again, osmosis.
Why do you know it?
Osmosis.
Osmosis.
I don't seek this information out.
Now you're ringing the bell. And then I forget the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then it ends with lava chicken. So, yeah. I just want to give myself some space because, Jack Black is just very physical.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring that in.
Okay, so what is this what's it called? Chicken jockey?
Chicken jockey.
Because the reason why I asked this, have you heard the reports and seen videos of people losing their minds?
Yeah.
But in a ironic way, as in they're being over the top and ridiculous and throwing popcorn and screaming and getting on other people's shoulders and jumping on the chairs and making videos and making a big scene of it, on purpose.
Yeah.
Have you heard about, one, have you seen those videos? And two, have you heard about police being called into movie theaters?
Yes.
Because of all this ridiculousness.
Yeah, I saw the memes and the videos, and my son was showing them to me. Chicken jockey is one of the rarest mobs that can
I don't know what a
spawn.
mob is.
It's these characters that can spawn in and attack you at night, because when it becomes nighttime in the Minecraft world, then all the zombies and skeletons and things come out.
Okay.
And people can create mobs, I guess, if you get more into Minecraft, and it was something that was created by a fan.
Mobs or mods?
Mob with a B.
Okay.
It is distinctive. So it's one of the rarer mobs that you can get. And I guess when it first was created, it was breaking the game because of the number of chickens and eggs that it was laying, and it almost crashed all of Minecraft. And so now it's really, really, really rare to find. And it's basically a baby zombie riding a chicken. So yeah, people are getting really excited about that. But as far as the cops being called, I can kind of see the argument for just let people have fun. They were too happy, they're having too much fun. But if you're causing destruction and,
making a mess, throwing popcorn all over the place, screaming. And not only that, but being kind of dangerous. Now this is my old man voice coming in, but people are on each other's shoulders in these rows of chairs, which is already precarious when you're trying to walk through the row, let alone somebody's on jumping up and down and on someone's shoulders. And then you just have people have shown video of the screen being completely paused and an announcement over the thing saying everybody get out because it's just disruptive.
Yeah.
Those people are not the only ones in there. You have other people and maybe families watching the movie or wanting to, and you have all these people acting all these youngsters, either teenagers or kids or young adults acting this way. Okay, we get it. You want to make something viral. You want to be funny on social media. I get it. That's what you want to do. That doesn't justify doing it. I don't know. This is my old man hat right now. Yeah, back in my day. No, but do you remember when the Minions movie came out?
Yeah.
A bunch of people, young adults, young kids, teens, young adults, they wore suits, 3-piece suits, and they'll make so that's a fun thing that doesn't disturb anybody else. They're having a meme. They're making a meme of themselves in a way, but it's not disrupting the experience or whatnot, or getting out of control. But yeah, you're just watching videos of people wanting to go viral, wanting to make a disruption and make a scene just to be stupid.
Chill out, teenagers. Teenagers, right? James?
Well, you know what? The director of Minecraft, he says, I don't get it. He says, just let them do their thing. He says the movie's great. It comes as videos have gone viral. The director, Jared Hess, says he's just happy people are finding joy in going to movie theaters. So I get that. I get you're happy. People are having a good time, but it's not the kind of time or place to be doing that.
I think the line is safety and destruction. Don't do that. And
discretion and human decency for other people wanting to watch a movie.
But if you're in the Minecraft movie, you maybe should expect us.
No, you're in the movie theater. You're not in the movie. You're watching the movie in a movie theater. You're not in it.
And this is why James is not going to go watch Minecraft.
No, goodness.
But I am pro-joy.
But you recommend families watch it?
Take your kids and don't expect a serious movie, but enjoy it and have fun. And maybe one day they will make the Minecraft movie, because I'd love to see like more references and more like trueness to the blockular world. That's a word I just made up. But
sure.
We'll see. There will definitely be a sequel. So there was a great end credit scene. So there's two like main characters from Minecraft, right? There's Steve and there's Alex. And at the very end, spoiler alert, we get to see Alex, or the back of her head. So I think we can definitely expect numero dos.
Excellent. Just what we need. Hey, sorry for the interruption of the podcast. I am editing right now, and this is the part where my microphone battery dies, and so my audio quality will drop dramatically. What you're going to be hearing is me coming from Jamie's microphone, but it doesn't sound good because Jamie's microphone is pointed to Jamie. It's still a good, despite the audio quality, the segment is still really fun, talking about a Goofy movie and the documentary behind the scenes making of the movie. It's about just 5 minutes long, so if you can deal with my bad audio for that long, I think it's worth sticking around through the podcast. Okay, that's enough. Back to the podcast, and hope you're enjoying it so far. Bye. But you know what? You're talking about, making a more serious movie. One movie that is surprisingly takes itself pretty seriously, but is still very fun and goofy. No pun intended.
Pun intended.
Movie. The Disney, which has now become a cult classic film that many of us in our generation grew up watching in the 90s, a documentary called Not Just A Goof has come out on Disney Plus, created by these group of guys who they adore. They love this movie, and they grew up and they made a documentary about it, and it's a really good one. For those, I think many people are aware of it, maybe haven't seen it, but again, many in our generation have. But a Goofy movie first came out in 1995. It was in production for 2.5 years beforehand, and even though it was a box office disaster, it found huge success at home video on VHS. And this is one of the movies that I watched growing up. I was around 5 years old when it came out, probably got the VHS around 5 or 6. And one of those movies that you watch repeatedly. Not only is it a very fun movie, a very funny movie, but it also has layers. It's a pretty deep movie, especially for what age you're watching it. What's your history with a Goofy movie?
Yeah, no, I loved it as a kid. I watched it plenty. The music, again, a big draw. I'm a big Powerline fan.
We're still waiting for that concert.
This is what sort of changed my life about the Goofy movie, was watching the character of the lead singer from Powerline. I remember I was in a giant mall in Miami called The Incredible Universe, which doesn't exist anymore. And we were in like a computer store. We were like in Circuit City, which also doesn't exist anymore.
We were in a mall.
Yeah, and they were playing the movie on the TVs in Circuit City, and I remember seeing the dancer from Powerline, and I was like my jaw was on the floor. That might have been like a little bit of Jamie's Awakening back then. But the music, they had no right to make the characters as sexy as they did, like all of them in there. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah. So my wife, I got my wife to watch it after years of telling her it's a great movie and it's very touching and heartfelt. And then we're watching it, and the first like 5 seconds in, 10 seconds in, where it's Max's dream sequence with Roxanne down, like flying from the heavens. She goes, "Dang, like they're really sexualizing these kids."
Yeah.
She didn't say sexualizing, but it was to that effect of like, man, like they're really like kind of hot for each other, kind of a way how they're drawn and stuff. And rewatching it, like they don't shy away from that. But that's part of like growing up. You notice the opposite sex. Yeah.
Exactly. So that was that, for me, for this, with this movie, but also the fun, the music, and it's a good coming of age. I mean, nobody, I think, was expecting for the story between Max and his dad, Goofy, to be so heartfelt and real. Yeah. It was a great story, and it was well told, and it was a fun adventure. So, I mean, another reason why it is, yet again, another cult classic. And Goofy. Oh, my God.
The reason why, and this movie, watch the documentary. If you've seen the movie, watch the movie first if you haven't seen it, but watch the documentary afterwards. And those who were creating it, the movie, they were talking about how they wanted this to feel like a John Hughes film. So, like, they wanted to have that, Ferris Bueller's Day Off kind of feel, Home Alone kind of like fun, grounded, even though that's very whimsical, but also like The Breakfast Club, kind of showing a story of those in between, like in those tween years, who are not kids anymore, but they're not fully adults. They're in that in-between stage where they're trying to figure themselves out. They're trying to develop their own identity and their own sound. And this is something that Max is struggling with, because in the movie, Max and Goofy are growing distant. He wants to become more independent, and he fears becoming more like his dad, Goofy. And so he's really kind of pushing those boundaries and being a little more rebellious. While Goofy, he understands that their relationship is strained, and they don't really talk as much anymore, and he misses the old Max when he was younger, and he wants to be a part of his life as he gets older, but there's that that conflict. And it's during their road trip that they tackle these issues of why they've drifted apart and reuniting and realizing and appreciating each other for who they are, or who they're becoming. So it's a beautiful story, and the documentary touches on several things, including, again, trying to be more grounded for a Disney film, because during that time you had The Lion King, you had all these Disney princess movies or fantasy movies, and even though this is like Goofy, they wanted to have it a grounded story that anybody could relate to, any teenager can relate to. And they didn't realize how big of a hit it was for our generation until 10 years ago at a D23 Disney event, where they had like a convention, or like, they have, speaking, what are they called?
Panels? Like, yeah.
And they had like a panel in a somewhat small room, but they realized like we had 1,000 people lined up to watch this panel, and they had to had to kick people out because it was filled. And that's when they realized, like, oh, this is actually resonating with so many people that we had no idea loved it growing up, and it meant so much for them. And so to have them realize that and talk about that, and now kind of having this resurgence of this film being appreciated, and they acknowledging its impact. I don't know. It's a lovely movie from all these different angles.
Yeah. And for Disney, that loves their cash grabs, as a millennial who loves this movie, I want more merch. I want Powerline merch. I want, the Max and Roxanne. Yes. Like, I'll buy it. Here's my money. Yeah. Please take it. There's not enough Goofy movie merch.
Not enough. Well, you know what else is not enough? Time, because we've come to the end of the show, but we've covered a lot of great stuff. For those of you who are watching, who are listening, and who have subscribed, because I know you have subscribed, thanks so much for tuning in.
Hit it.
Let us know what your thoughts are on many of these topics, including, a Goofy movie. Did it have a big impact on your life growing up, or did you just watch it and are now appreciating it for what it is? Did you watch a Minecraft movie? What are your thoughts? Were you going crazy?
In the theater? Was it you?
If you got arrested, let me know.
James hates you.
I want to talk to you.
But please subscribe.
Yeah, please. Also, of course, A.O. Atterbury, it's great for her to return to Boston, talk to the future generation. Maybe there's a kid in that auditorium where she was speaking who gets inspired and is going to be the next A.O. in the next movie. So, I think that's everything. But
yeah, and Ben and Matt, Dogma, that's going to be exciting to go back to the theater and see, and we've got to get them on the show too. So.
My mic died. My mic died. So okay. No, but we're all good. For the Hub on Hollywood, I'm James.
I'm Jamie.
We'll see ya.
We'll get better batteries next time.
Bye.
Bye. Woo!